Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? And welcome back to the channel. Tonight is Tuesday and it's time for some tools. So last week I was telling you guys that this week I wanted to do something that I've actually had for several years, and I wanted to do kind of a review video on it. Let you know how it's performed for me in the past. I think I've owned this for probably 4 years. And it has actually been very good to me, and I've only ever had to get a breaker bar out one time because it would not break it loose. What this tool is the Dewalt DCF899H. H meaning this is the hog ring style. They do make two different ones. They make it in the hog ring and they make it in the detent pin. I mean, as you can see from the looks of this tool, I have used this tool and abused it and put it through the ringer for the past 4-ish years. And like I said, there's only been one time that this tool has ever left me having to get a breaker bar out in a pipe, and that was on the dually and those upper control arm bolts, and it would not break those loose. And I think the main reason why it wouldn't break those loose is because it was at an angle and I had to use a swivel, and it was just taking so much of the hammer out. Like I said, this is the DCF899H, H meaning hog ring. It is a 1/2 inch impact, the XR brushless from Dewalt. It is 2,400 impacts per minute, and it's right about between, they've got it tested at 700 foot-pounds on and 1,200 foot-pounds of brake force. So I'm pretty, like I said, it has been a pretty substantial piece of or addition to my toolbox. It has really served me well, and I probably would buy another one when this one goes bad. It is starting to make just a little bit of noise up here in the cone, but I've never taken this off and put more grease in there either. So inside here is your hammer, and then there's another piece in here in the spring, and then it goes into some gears back in this area right here. It would be a good idea to pull that off, clean it out, get you some electrical grease, and put back in there just to keep everything nice and lubricated. I have never done that, and it's something I really should do. Everything I do own is Dewalt, from the grinder to the 1/4 inch impact to my drill. I've got a couple of different size batteries. I've got two 1.5s. I've got 2 4s, and then I felt that the 2 4s were getting weak just because of how much I charge them to use them on the grinder or use them on my impact. So I picked this up from Amazon the other day. This is a 6, and let me tell you, buddy, if you put this on this impact, it's pretty much unstoppable. If you're not careful, you will be twisting things off. I decided to go with the brushless battery or cordless because I was using pneumatic, and this is what I had. I don't know any of the specs on this to tell you what they are, but it is a Craftsman, and it's pretty much wore out. I don't even know why I still have it or why I saved it. I did notice it was in my box, so I got it out, and I wanted to show you what I replaced with the Dewalt. Like I said, I decided to go with the cordless because I already had the drill and the impact, and I already had 2 4 batteries or 4 milliamp batteries. And I saw this on Amazon. It was shortly after it was released. This came out, and I think in 17, they had a non-brushless that had just a longer nose cone on it before this one, and then they come out with the XR in 17, and then that's when I made the decision to go ahead and pick this up to replace this pneumatic. This right here is junk. It actually should probably go in the scrap pile. I just haven't done it yet. Specs on this, like I said, you have 3 different settings down there. you have a 1, 2, and 3 setting. Right down there, it does have an LED light. 1 being 400 RPMs, 2 being 1200 RPMs, and then 3 being 1900 RPMs. This is the 12 volt max, or I'm sorry, the 20 volt max, and get into some more details as far as length, weight, stuff like that. All right, as far as weight of the tool itself, it weighs in just a little over 5 pounds. And then if I put the 6 milliamp battery on it, it weighs 2 pounds, just a little over 2 pounds. So together, these two would weigh right around 7 pounds. Length of tool, I believe it's right around 8 3/4 inches long. And then height without battery is just about the same, 8 3/4 inches. But you put the 6 milliamp battery on it, it does add considerable height to it. Or just right about 11 inches. So, I guess long story short, if you guys are in the market to buy an impact, I would highly suggest the Dewalt. I have used the Milwaukee 1/2 inch impact also, and it does a very good job in itself. I just already had Dewalt tools, I already had batteries, so that's why I had decided to go with all the Dewalt line, because I already had the impact driver, or the drill, and the impact driver, and I already had 2 4 milliamp batteries. So as the stuff came out in the XR, now these two right here are not the XR, that's the only two I do not have. They have had the grinder out for a while, but it was just a standard 20 volt max. It was not an XR. They just released this one late last year, and that's when I picked it up. That's why it took me so long to get the grinder. I have had a corded grinder for a very long time, and it finally took a crap on me. It was also Dewalt, and I do have a corded Sawzall over there. I have not picked the cordless Sawzall up yet. So this has just been, I mean, I've used it from working on a dolly to working on the 2nd gen. You guys have saw it in several videos. I do not have a 3/8 impact. My 3/8 impact is an Ingersoll Rand, just because I won that on an Instagram contest through, I can't remember the name of the company now. Anyway, I won that one on Instagram, so therefore I did not need to go buy the Dewalt, so I just go ahead and use that 3/8 Ingersoll Rand. That's the only different battery that I have. I am in the market that I'm going to be buying a 3/8 cordless ratchet. I'm not certain which one I'm going to get yet. I have looked at Harbor Freight's Earthquake, the Milwaukee. The only thing that's offered in Dewalt is a Pneumatic. Like I said, this is a DCF899H. I did buy it as a bare tool off of Amazon. When I purchased it, it was $216 for the bare tool. It has came down considerably. I'll put a link down in the description if you guys want to go check it out. I'll also put a link down in the description for the 6 milliamp battery. I don't recommend anything smaller than probably a 4 milliamp battery is what I would probably, the smallest battery I would put on there. So if you have Dewalt tools already and you have a 4 or above, you would be pretty safe. I've used the 4 milliamp batteries, or the 4 amp, not milliamp, the 4 amp hour batteries on it for a long time, and that's all I've ever had. Like I said, I just noticed that they were getting weak and I was having to charge them for a while. Actually, the date code on these are 2016 is what the date code is on this 4 amp hour battery. So those are getting pretty old. I just saw that as I was sitting here talking to you guys. So let's check out the date code on the 6 milliamp battery. That 6 milliamp battery, that's got a 2018. And then I looked at the bottom of the impact itself, and that's a 2016. So I purchased that. I'm pretty certain I purchased that in either late 16 or early 17. I can't remember which. I probably go back on my Amazon and look but it's not really that important to me. All I know is I've had it for a good 4-ish years, and as soon as this one goes out, or when this one ever goes out, if it ever goes out, I will be purchasing another one and just getting an updated model. The only thing I don't know what I would get is if I would get another hog ring or if I would get the detent pin. I'm just not certain which one. The hog ring is fine. That's what I've used the most of, as you saw on the Craftsman that I had earlier. It is also a hog ring style. But like I said, this is a 700 foot-pound torque is what they rated at, and 1,200 foot-pounds of brake force, and it is rated at 24 impacts per minute. So it's a pretty good impact. So like I said, guys, if you are interested, I will put a link in the description if you want to go pick one of these up or go check it out on Amazon. That's where I purchased everything at. These came from Amazon. The 2 4-amp-hour batteries came from Amazon. The 6-amp-hour battery, the grinder came from Amazon. Originally, I purchased this from Lowe's, but they were like 3 weeks out, and I went ahead and canceled it and had it in 3 days from Amazon Prime. Those came from Lowe's. They just had them in stock. I've had these for probably, I'm going to say, well, let's just look. Date codes on those are 2013, if you can see that. So anyway, that's just my little insight on the Dewalt Impact, the Brushless XR. More than happy. More than happy. I think you guys, if you would pick that up for yourself, you would also be happy with it. I didn't want another pneumatic and have to drag a hose around. I like to be able to take it with me and do whatever I want. I've taken it and changed blades on my dad's mower when he's broken before, flat tires on the side of the road, whatever it may be. So I hope you enjoyed Tool Tech Tuesday tonight. In the meantime, guys, if you don't mind, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already done so, and we'll talk to you guys later on. Bye-bye.